Thank you very much. Actually, I have lived in Topanga for 35 years, and my job as the television director, mostly junk television shows like Entertainment Tonight and things like that. My hobby has always been the environmental movement, which 35 years ago I was very lucky to bump into Bob Hunter and Paul Watson, two of the most famous people in the movement. And being in the television business, they were like stories made to happen, like a train wreck just waiting to happen. And I hooked up with them years ago, and we tried to, at that time, this is 35 years ago. It was in Vancouver, British Columbia. We took a billboard out, which had one word on it, ecology, look it up. No one knew what the word meant. And so now, 35 years later, I can say we have won the revolution. At least people know what the word means, and BP oil wants to be green. So the kids that are coming along next, I'm kind of old and semi over the hill, the kids that are coming along next really have to learn how to govern, because we have won the revolution as environmental groups. We want to be good. We want to have less population, at least I do. We want to teach our kids to do the right things. We want to do all those things. And everyone has to do their part. In the Tapestry of Life, which is on the brochure this morning, I guess I'm the person that just can't wait around for that, and I have to get out there and stop it right now. I consider myself a conservationist, and what I do in my business as the media is I take the problem to the world. We consider ourselves an acupuncture needle. We can stick the problem, make a big stink, which we do if you know what we do, and all over the world will hear about it, and then it's time for everyone else, our own selves, to get in there and fix it. And as a small group, which I ran for years, and as an individual, that's all we can do. And recently, I'll get to it in a minute, but Margaret Mead told me one time, and she obviously, it's written out all the time, and you hear about it, that individuals change the world, not groups, not governments, nobody, it's individuals. And when people ask me, what can I do? It seems like such a big deal. Well, it isn't such a big deal. Everyone can do something positive. It's real easy to sit around on our couches and football games and bitch about, the Topanga Creek being dirty or whatever, and not even care where our septic tank goes. So that is a very easy subject to deal with. And when people tell you no, if you find something you want to do, I tell kids especially, if that's something, as the lady before me was talking about their passion, if that's what they're passionate about, do it. And everybody in your life is going to tell you why you can't do it. Your parents are going to tell you you're crazy, your friends are going to say, why bother? Everybody's going to tell you why you can't do it. And you know what? You'll change the world if you do it. And the minute you stand up to all these naysayers, which they'll be because they've really never done anything themselves, and they're probably more afraid of failure or success, for that matter, than you are. But as a kid, if you see a problem, you just tell yourself you can do it. And in my case, I came from a little town in Eastham, Massachusetts. I came out to Hollywood. I was a professional skier. I got into the television business. And I bump into Paul Watson and Bob Hunter. 30 years later, BP oil wants to be green. Now, I don't take full credit for it, but I do know the people who can take full credit for it. And those are the people who went out in front and weren't afraid of what was going to happen. I hear all the time, I have coffee at Mimosa Coffee Shop, and I hear all the time people saying, gee, Peter, you just got back from Antarctica. I wish I could do that. Well, 6 weeks before I left, they were sitting there in the coffee shop telling me, gee, I wish I could go to Antarctica. I don't have time. I come back 6 weeks later, and they told me, what did you do? Nothing. As a matter of fact, the darn coffee shop is about the same and probably still has the same dirty cups in the trash. But I went and took 6 weeks of my time to do something that I believed in, for whatever reasons. I did it for myself. I did it for the whales. I can do it for whatever number of reasons. But the very fact is that I did it. And it is very funny that after 35 years, I end up in that stupid Whale Wars television show. And now, all of a sudden, I'm invited to places like this to speak. I could be the greatest scientist in the world, but hell, I wasn't on television last night. But I was on television, and I play a scientist on TV. And I'll tell you, don't kill whales. But it's TV, so you don't have to get a lot of points across. You just have to kind of get the feeling. And I'm good at that because I absolutely believe in what I'm preaching. And so I'll make up the facts all day long. You know, let the other show come out with the stuff that's right. Just this 3 weekends ago, I was supposed to talk here. I forget what this subject was going to be. I was asked it. I said, you know, I'm doing something right now that could be really cool. Now, I don't know if you people are involved in the environmental movement or what the thing is. I kind of, for whatever reason, am. And Paul Watson, who's on the lam from Sea Shepard now for offenses, asked me if I could put Taiji, Japan, the cove where they kill the dolphins cove, if I could stream it live to the internet. Because for years they'd done motion pictures on the thing. It's been on TV. You know, it hasn't saved one dolphin. But boy, they've spent a ton of money over there. So we thought that maybe we would try to do that. So I said, sure. I saw a commercial where someone was there with their cell phone, and they took a picture of a rock and roll star, and there it was on a billboard. It was on TV. I got to be able to do that. And you know, the funny thing is, 2 weeks later, I did. And we only told 5 people we tried it, and the Japanese arrested 13 foreigners in town and took their cell phones away. The next time when we got the cell phones back to the kids, and we actually told a few people that we were going to run this live, they arrested another 13 or 14 and took their cell phones away and broke them. And then they spent a week cyber attacking me, because it was just, because no one had, just to this point, no one had even seen that yet, okay? 10 people maybe. Now, there's 10,000 people a day tuning in to this thing called Easy Earth, with the letters easyearth.tv, to watch Taiji live, and the Japanese are just beside themselves. And no one can understand why. Well, we live in Los Angeles where people watch car chases for 4 hours a day, waiting for the car wreck. What's better to watch the Japanese to see what's going to happen with these poor, lovely vegan women? They come in and kill a dolphin in front of one of them. My dad was in World War II. He would have loved to have a platoon of those women with him because they just are vicious. And so the people are watching it. But you know, the difference is they are changing their mind. They don't like to kill dolphins on live TV. They don't have a problem killing dolphins and you put it on the film for whatever reason, but for some reasons they do not like it happening now. And it got around, and we're doing it every day. Still on my credit card, I'm thrilled. Because with bandwidth, the more you sell, you know, the more it costs you. So now, what we figured we'd do to really be a pain in the ass is we're going to put Antarctica this winter on live. So instead of Whale Wars doing a fake TV show about it a year later, you're going to be able to tune in Christmas Eve if you're Japanese and watch the brave thing your country does, killing whales in a whale sanctuary on Christmas Eve. And what I'm going to do then is put it up on a live video screen in downtown Tokyo. And just wait for him to take it down. But all I'm saying this because I got to get going here. I see somebody probably waving to me in the background. I'm not supposed to talk too long. But all I'm saying is, the bottom line is anybody can do it. I just happen to get lucky because I have involved in a film called Confessions of an Eco-Terrorist, so it is in my nature to do these things. But I had enough contacts when someone suggested why not. I didn't say because it's impossible. Everybody else said it was impossible. It took me 2 weeks. It was near impossible. Now it's kind of impossible convincing my wife it was a good idea. But that's another story altogether. But the thing is, it's working, and it's a different way of thinking. And the kids out here especially, or anybody, if they have an idea how to get after something, I say to it, if it's a real idea, talk about it with your friends. If they all think you're crazy, then you know it's a good idea. Find someone else you can talk to with it about it and get out there and do it. It will change the world. And not only will it change the world, all of a sudden they'll be inviting you to come talk at a place like this where you can't see anybody out there because the lights are in your eyes. But you all seem very nice, and I think I'm at my time, and I want to thank you for coming, and get out there and do something positive. Thank you.